Hey friends, and welcome back to Tea Time on Altair. Today I'm going to show you how to turn this into this. So if you're interested, keep watching. Okay, I just kind of want to show you like what my thought process is when I'm picking out different weekly pages to do my weekly layouts. We're gonna go ahead and scroll through, and you'll see I have a lot of layouts that look similar. Like I have a lot of layouts that look like similar to this one. I use those on days when I'm not feeling a lot of measuring, I'm not feeling a lot of editing. I use ones like this to give me ideas for how to track meals. I just use it for ideas. So we're gonna scroll down, you'll see the monthly layout that I use, and we're gonna find a fun layout that I can give you guys a tutorial of. Let's do this one. This one looks good. Okay, so this is the layout. I wonder if I can make it any bigger. This is the layout that we're gonna work on. And I'm gonna save this and I'll put it up on the screen throughout the tutorial so that I can just explain as I'm going along. So see you at my bullet journal. So as you can see, I've already done my July monthly layout. Basically what I do is take that layout that I linked in my last video and just pick the colors of the month and customize it. So how I decide what the colors are is I look at the birthstone. July's birthstone is ruby, so obviously red's gonna be in there. And I also Google what the popular like wedding colors are, just to give me more of a selection, because you can't really, you can't do a whole month in one color. It'll be depressing and look sad. For July for this year, the wedding colors, the popular ones are crimson, russet, and gold. So crimson obviously is a darker red, russet is like a reddish brown, and gold is gold. So you see I have my gold trim here. My outlines are done in brown. I don't have a russet brown, I just have a regular brown, so close enough. I've done my gold accents, I've got my reds, red and gold. I like red and gold together, add in some accents of brown, and that's the color selection. This is my mood page, I can throw up a link for that. And then this is my habits and symptoms tracker, and I'm gonna do a whole separate video on this. So then from there I go directly into my weeklies. So you've seen the layout that I've chosen. You see that it is laid out to take up 2 pages, but I'm not gonna do that. This is an easier one, so I'll do a harder one maybe in my next video. So I'll explain to you my thought process while laying these out. Turn the journal. Landscape. Going back to the Pinterest page, this is the first thing I do. When we're looking at the layout, the first thing you see is it's separated into 4 sections up at the top here. And then there are 2 main sections down here. Now this is the habits, and this is, in this layout it says thankful. I'll probably use it for meals, but for now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then underneath we have one thing that takes up the same space as 2 of these, and then we have 2 things that take up the space of the other 2. The important part is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 1, 2. So you take that onto your page, and I said in a previous video that I know that this is 40 down and 35 across. What I do is take these lines that are in my computation book and go 2 boxes out, and 2 boxes out on this side, and that makes it 30 even. So I usually just go 40 by 30, and then the edges I can either do some doodles in, or what I've been doing recently because I have so much is putting washi tape in. First things first, we've got 40 and 30. We're gonna take our 4 and you'll notice in the layout on Pinterest that there are spaces in between the boxes. So we're not just gonna do 10, 10, 10, 10, because then there's no line break. We're gonna do 9, and then a line of boxes, 9, a line of boxes, 9, a line of boxes. And because in the Pinterest layout it's sectioned with one thing on top and then one row of things on the bottom, we're gonna do, just to make it even, 14 and 14, and then there'll be 2 lines in the center. So I'm gonna ruler it all out, like mark it all out, and then come back to you. Okay, so you may or may not have noticed in that clip that I kind of screwed up. That's why I said to have a good ruler and have whiteout with you, because you're gonna mess up. And I'll explain what I did wrong when I was measuring. What I did was I forgot that there's a space here as well. So I needed to leave 2 boxes worth of space in between my dates, and I only left 1, which left me short on this end. Now what I could have done to mitigate that is to make these 8 boxes long instead of 9, and then that would have left that extra space, and then I would have had a little bit of extra space probably on the end here. But it doesn't matter, because this last little triangle in the layout is like the next week notes section. So it can be a little smaller than the other ones. What's important is we have 7 triangles here laid out, and then we have our tracking section, which takes up the space of 2 of our days. So let's go back to the layout on Pinterest, and I will point out some other things that I found interesting. So back to this layout here, we have the tracker section. What I think I'm gonna do is turn this into my weather section and my general tracking section. I counted out 14 lines for this little section. I always give myself at least 10 lines for tracking. Doing that would only leave me 4 lines for the weather. So the first thing that I would have to do is come back to my journal, and I'm gonna count across how much this is, because I don't actually know, because I messed this up. So we're gonna just count how many boxes this is across. Okay, so this is 21 across. I'm gonna give myself 2 boxes for each date, and then the rest of that is gonna be where I write my tracking information and where I write like weather. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll come back to you. So, you noticed I drew in my little weather boxes. I like to split the however much area I have, and I'll put the high and the low, and then I'll draw a little doodle. I have my tracking section here. I will write in whatever I'm tracking when this week happens. And I've also drawn in these little triangles at the top and bottom of these squares. And I'll write in there Sunday the 1st, Monday the 2nd, etc. And then I think what I'm gonna do over here, we have 14 lines worth of space left over. I'm gonna put a calendar here because I always have a calendar in my layout. I'm gonna try to center it in these 14 lines. And then I'm gonna use the rest of this space, whatever is left, as my meal tracker. And then we should be done. So here we go. Alright, so embarrassingly, as you can see, I screwed up when I was writing my days, but like I said, whiteout. Life isn't a Pinterest tutorial. It's not going to look like it looked like on Pinterest, so I'm okay with that. I've added in my Sunday, Monday dates, and I added in my meal sections, so the only thing that's really left for this page is to figure out what I do with my washi tape borders and header, and I'm gonna wait to do that until I do this page, just so I can match up the colors of the tape with the pen and everything. So yeah, that's pretty much my tutorial on how to turn a 2-page layout into a 1-page layout. I'm sorry I messed up so often, but you know, that's the nature of the game. So that'll be it for this layout tutorial. So see you next time. Bye!